What up, my viewers for Facebook, YouTube, whatever you guys watch. This is the big boss of Too Cool and Be Cool, and I am back here again, making you guys another video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So guess what, guys? On today's video, we're gonna be talking about an update, how everything's going up with Adam Rose. And if nobody knows what's going on with Adam Rose, apparently he got arrested due to a argument and a fight that he had with his wife at 1 o'clock in the morning, like last week or a couple of weeks ago. But how everything's going with Adam Rose, man, it's not really going good with Adam Rose. It's not really going good. It's going really bad how everything is going with him, and it's really hard for him because the way how, you know, he's struggling, trying to make everything, trying to make money for his family. Trying to help out his child that's a special needs kid. He's just trying to do his best, but right when this incident had to happen, and that's when shit got really bad for Adam Rose, man. Really bad. And, you know, I've heard people were saying that, you know, that it wasn't really a fist fight between Adam Rose and his wife. She did call the police, but Adam Rose actually didn't struck her. He just like pulled the phone away from her and just did that. But people sort of like saying that when there was a court session between Adam Rose on a I think it was a video of TMZ, when they said, people were saying that if it wasn't for like Adam Rose's wife, then he wouldn't be stuck in this position right now. Because apparently Adam Rose didn't do anything that bad. I mean, he did take the phone from his wife. He did pull the phone off, and he did sort of like did something. I don't know what it was. But the funniest thing is right when there was the judge was talking to Adam Rose, Adam Rose's wife said that he didn't do anything. He took the phone away from me, but that's about it. He didn't do anything bad. And the funniest thing is that if he didn't do anything bad, why would you call the police? Why would you call 911 if he didn't do anything bad? That's one thing that's kind of confusing to me. And you know, I'm not saying that she didn't need to call the police at that time, but you know, if you are married to somebody that's actually a celebrity, or somebody that's really big, well, sort of big, but somebody that's like in the, like, you know, in a company that makes a lot of money. If you're married to a celebrity, you know, if you do something outside of what's gonna happen between you and them, or you do anything really that's gonna fucked up, that's gonna fuck up their career, you know that it was not worth it doing that kind of stuff, and you just fucked up the person that you were in love with, his career. And you know, it's sort of really bad what happened with Adam Rose and his wife, but man, this is not really going really good for Adam Rose, man. Not really going good. And like I said, I'm not trying to blame his wife, even though she did say that nothing happened between him and Adam Rose, but I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. And I really feel bad for Adam Rose, man. He's just going through a lot of shit. I mean, right now he's suffering with ADHD and with depression, and he's not really being so good right now, man. Not really good. But I think everything will be okay with him. I just hope. And you have to really feel bad for this guy. really feel bad for the way how everything's going on right now between his life right now and struggling with his family. So really sad for Adam Rose. Anyways, I didn't get that much stuff into it to see what happened, but apparently I found a clip from the Don Tony and Karen Castle show, and they sort of found out some more stuff than me. So I was glad I was able to get this audio, and shout out to them, the Don Tony and Karen Castle show. And I hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and let's see what happens between Adam Rose and his future. Hope everything will be okay. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
I invite everyone out there to listen to this past Wednesday's episode of Breakfast with Blassie. At the time, the news was just breaking that Adam Rose, real name Ray LePan, was arrested. It was 1:30. Now, I don't have all the information in front of me, but it was 1:30 in the morning on last Wednesday. And what happened was he had an incident with his wife. Basically, they had a physical altercation. She called 911, and while she was on the phone with 911, he grabbed the phone away from her. And which is kind of, if you really think about it, it's a little bit odd, because Ray LePan, having a physical violence on his wife, nothing major or serious, that was considered a misdemeanor. But you grab the phone away from your wife while she's on the phone with 911, that's a felony. So pulling the phone away was more serious as far as a charge than the physical altercation itself. Anyway, since then, he was released on $1,000 bond, which means that he probably only had to come up with about $100 or $200 cash to post the bond. He didn't have to come up with a G. All right, he's got to go back in court in July. Bottom line is that apparently there was another incident that took place in March. He is suspended indefinitely with the WWE. WWE made a statement saying they have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to, domestic abuse and all that other stuff. But the one thing that I said on Wednesday, and I'll let Kev have the floor because he hasn't talked about it at all. The one thing I said Wednesday, and remember, if you listen to Wednesday's Breakfast with Blassie, this is before he was arraigned in court, and it was before that video footage that came out that TMZ posted of Adam Rose's wife literally almost begging the judge to let him go. All right. What I said on Wednesday, and I'd love to hear Kev comment on this also, and I have to repeat myself, this is in no way, shape, or form putting any of the blame on Adam Rose's wife. Okay? It's a stressful time. They have a special needs kid. It's still no excuse to put your hands on a woman, in my opinion. But the one thing that I said Wednesday is that when you are married to a celebrity, a major, sports figure, a wrestling star, a public figure, an entertainer, and you pick up the phone anyway and call 911, it must be a really serious situation, because she picking up that phone, she knows that she more than likely just killed what's left of Adam Rose's wrestling career for the most part, because TMZ would pick up on it. We would all pick up on it. Even if they kept it hush quiet, somebody sooner or later would see the arrest report doing a court search. So the bottom line is that I said it on Wednesday. Don't be surprised if she begs sympathy from the court, because after she called, she probably realized, I just fucked my husband's career. I'm not putting the blame on her in any way, shape, or form, but the fact that she called 911 anyway, it had to have been a really serious situation. I've had arguments with girlfriends on and off, not many, but I've had them over the years. I've never laid my hand on someone. Nobody ever even thought remotely of picking up the phone in 911.
Yeah, I was going to say I've never been involved in any kind of cop coming to the house thing with any girlfriend or fiance, or I had a 9-year relationship. I had a 7-year relationship with another person.
Yeah.
But we've had fights, left the house, slept on the couch. Never had the police involved. We don't call 911. Very Brian Pillman policy with us.
Even my father. I mean, my father's old school, and I forgive what some of the things he did, but I've talked about it before. I must have been like 12 years old, and my father went to parent-teacher night, and they told my father that I was really misbehaving in class. And my father came home. He took a wooden hanger and cracked me right over my hand with it, and it looked like I had somebody sewed someone's balls inside my hand.
Oh, my father. I mean, God rest his soul. My father, my brother John probably won't mind saying, my father was a disciplinarian too when we were young, and never did we even think about police. But since we're talking about a husband-wife, or common law, or whatever, we're talking guy-girl thing. No, I never been down that road. And
never thought about calling 911. Never ever.
Never. Like I said, I mean, and actually, being friends with a lot of people, knowing a lot of people, I realize how many people police have been called over minuscule things. And quite honestly, to be honest with you, if I was involved with somebody who it was just a yelling and shouting match, or fingers in each other's faces, and the cops came over that'll be the last time I was involved with that person. To me, I would never be with a chick who would call randomly the police ever. It would happen once, and then it wouldn't happen again.
I agree with you 1,000%, because I want everybody listening to do me a favor. Listen to what Kev is talking about now, what he just said. And after you listen to that, I want you to listen to what I said on Wednesday's Breakfast with Blassie. And then I want you to watch the TMZ clip of Adam Rose's wife in court. Because when she is in court and she is telling a judge under oath that nothing happened, that he was trying to, grab me, but to say, let's talk about it. Let's just so if she's telling the truth to the judge, then you say to yourself, what the fuck did you call 911 for in the first place? And look, there's no excuse for putting your hands on a woman. I've said it. If I ever caught my wife in bed with another guy, I wouldn't even dare put my hands on her. I would beat the fuck out of the guy, or I would shoot him in the balls, or cut his nuts off or something, so she would be mentally, emotionally disturbed from it for the rest of her life. I would make her watch it. I would cut his balls and stick it in his mouth. But I wouldn't lay a hand on a woman. But if she's telling the court the truth, then this day and age, it's like you pick up the phone and call 911 if your father even threatens to hit you with a strap. You know what I mean? It's like very loosely, just call 911, just call 911, just call 911. And if I dated someone that would have an argument with me like you just said and called 911, even threatened, if you don't stop, I'm going to call 911, I'd break up with her in a second. Someone that's going to use that as a leverage, because I'll say something personal. And I've mentioned it maybe once, maybe like 7-8 years ago on this show. I'll mention it briefly. I was married once. I got my marriage annulled. I was only married for a couple of months. But when we broke up, okay, I was trying to keep, the marriage alive, because I'm not going to talk tonight and explain why we broke up and everything, but there was something that happened to my ex physically, and she got very, very depressed, and it ended up that we split up. But I still wanted to try to make everything work. And her hick mother, all right, her motherfucking bitch mother, which honestly I praise her now because I'm so glad that she actually ended up doing this. But her mother told this fucking bitch and said, you know what? If you don't want him to call you anymore, and you don't want to be bothered with him anymore, and you don't want to deal with, him trying to mend things out, just call the cops and say he threatened to kill you. And sure enough, she was at work. She called 911 and told the cops and said that my husband was separated and he's threatening me. He said he's going to show up at my job and beat me up. I got a phone call from the precinct saying to me that, I have to turn myself in. And I said, for what? And they said you called your wife and threatened to be. I said, check my phone records. I didn't even call. And they said, well, you could have called from a payphone. I said, go run the phone records at her job. I said, the bottom line was that I ended up driving down to Woodmere. I had to turn myself into a precinct. We went into the precinct. I didn't get like arraigned or anything like that, but once I was there, I guess she felt really guilty and called the precinct and said, look, my mother told me to do this, so, I could possibly get an order of protection so he doesn't call me anymore. I don't want to talk to him, whatever. And the bottom line is the cops told her, and remember, this is in 1999. So the laws are much different now. The cops told her that even though you're telling us now that the call never happened, because you made the initial complaint, we have to arrest him. No way around it. Kev? Did we lose Kev? Holy shit. We lost Kev. Did I bore him that bad?
Yeah, what happened?
I have no idea, but you probably...
There was an explosion, and I got cut off.
Oh, well, I was just telling the story about how, like, if somebody calls 911 on you, even if they're lying, the cops still have to bring you in no matter what. And then they'll let you go. But the bottom line is that there are women out there that will threaten to call 911, even if you're not physically threatening or anything, as a leverage tool.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of friends of mine over the years. One who really screwed him up at his job, at personally, professionally, and he, once again, it was not what you consider an assault. He grabbed the phone out of his girlfriend's hands and ripped the phone out of the wall. By the way, his phone, his apartment, by the way. And his lawyer went by the whole pretense of he can bash the phone if he wants to. He could break it and step on it. He didn't throw it at her. He didn't throw it in the direction. He took it and he smashed it on the floor. And she claims like that it blew up and hit her in the face. It's just some nonsensical thing. I know this dude's got a bad time, but he didn't touch her. He basically destroyed his own property and still got taken in. And it almost ruined his whole definitely ruined his year, let alone almost his life. And, it's, like I said, real unfortunate. You got to kind of be careful who you get involved with, guy or girl.
Yeah. So,
you got to kind of watch that stuff.
Yeah.
But I almost, and I say this actually very seriously. I'm not even joking. This is not trying to be funny. I'm actually being serious. I actually worry something bad is going to happen to Adam Rose.
You think so?
Like, in real life, I know it's not his name. Like, you know what I'm talking about, like hurting himself.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I just have this bad feeling. I just saw him in the court. He looked so downtrodden and so defeated. And I'm sure he was already feeling that way. And this is just, I just feel the guy feels so humiliated publicly and professionally.
Yeah.
And, he's got a special needs kid. Like I said, I now have sympathy for the guy where I was kind of like, Vince doesn't like him. I think, I just, you shake your head at just the bad luck streak of people. Sometimes I think I have bad luck. I had a really horrible day today, but nowhere near the day that man had, or the week that man had recently. Yeah. And I just hope that it's not a tragic ending for stuff that maybe never even had to go that way.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You saw him. I just, and I can imagine, you're in that court, all those, people behind you, and everyone's getting a view. I mean, how horrible is that, Don Tony?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I don't get arrested left and right like other people, and people, that's how they do it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't get arrested. So when I saw that, and he's behind, and all these people are behind, and the judge is talking, and everyone's hearing his private moments, a bunch of other people who are there for God knows what crimes, all behind him like a cattle call. I mean, you saw that, Don Tony.
Absolutely.
I mean, humiliation. I mean, I could just see it in the man's face. I'm just like, is this guy going to go home and put a gun in his mouth? I mean, serious. I mean, I don't know. I know better men who have done that. So it's like, wow, I hope his wife doesn't live to regret this. I really do. And you could say, oh, that would be a coward's way. I don't know about that. Some people who really are so destroyed lose your job, your family, humiliation, public humiliation, professional humiliation. How much is a person supposed to take? And some people, go over the edge on things like this. And like I said, I hope in a human sense that guy's going to be okay, because I just have this not so good feeling. And as everyone knows, I've unfortunately predicted bad things before.
Yeah, and I will add something to what you're saying, which is going to convince yourself even more. Everybody needs to remember he's on medication for was it ADHD? Yeah. So I mean, it's a really, really sad situation.
Yeah,
and
it's
again,
a story. I a couple weeks ago, oh my God, this guy, the weaves of the mongoose, but now let's put that aside and be the human story, as we'll call it. This is really I'm sure everyone out there is like saying, I feel bad for this guy. I mean, I don't think there's any of you guys, and if any of you guys are like, oh, if he did this to his wife, calm down, PC police. I think this guy has just been victimized by bad luck and just bad things going on, and mostly probably not even his decision. I think the guy's just trying, and also, like I said, he's taking medication. He felt unjustly punished and demoted, and once again, two forms of public humiliation. His name all over the internet, that he failed a drug test. He doesn't take drugs. He's taking a medicine to balance his chemistry in his brain. He has ADHD. I dated somebody with ADHD. Believe me, when they're off medication, there's no picnic. And this person was a beautiful person, but the way things went when things were off balance, I didn't even know who I was talking to. And it's not in a crazy sense. It's in a sense of a person who's really, not feeling well, doing well, because they're not on balance. And so I can relate to that, because like I said, I know someone who was involved with someone who had that problem. He's on the road missing his kid. His kid's a special needs kid who needs medication given to him, injected every day. And you're talking about a guy who, like I said, unjustly suspended, now possibly unjustly in public humiliation for him standing there in a goddamn orange jumpsuit. 2 weeks ago, he's on the road, a WWE superstar. Now he's got no job, probably no money. This guy didn't make a lot of money, maybe $100,000 downside guarantee. That's not a lot of money for a family. Like I said, I can't say enough. I feel bad for this man.
Yeah, I feel bad for the whole family, and let's just hope we don't end up hearing a tragedy come out of this.
I hope not. I really hope not. Like I said, boy, did things change in a month.
Yeah.
A month ago, he's like I said, on the road, WWE superstar, in a somewhat gimmick that got regular weekly TV time, and a month later, look what happens.
Yeah.
And like I said, I am not gonna crucify him. Obviously, his wife was not physically harmed. There was no marks on her. I don't know. Everyone gets into an argument with their wife or husband or whatever. I'm not condoning anything. But my God, I mean, there must be strain on that relationship anyway. We all saw that special with the kid, and that is some task to have to handle every day. So once again, until you walk, a mile in someone's shoes, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I know a sad soul.